Hi, welcome back. So now we're going to go over special allocations. So if you haven't seen the two videos before, make sure you go check those out. If you have watched the two videos, we're going to go ahead and talk about special allocations for you. So we're going to go ahead and type in SOAB, go to requesting funding, and we're going to scroll down to special allocations. So now you submitted you're requesting your semester funding information on time. You have your whole calendar full of events planned for organization, and you can see that you're going to be incurring a few costs that you really hadn't anticipated. So that's what special allocations is all about. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and then we're going to scroll down. Make sure you read over the SOAB policy for what you can and cannot request from SOAB. And then we're going to see that we have a lot of dates that you can come in and request funding for. Now, they pay very special attention to these dates. This column shows you when your event can be to request funding for. So your application for September 19th, if you want to have an event or programming that day, you're going to need to submit your funding application on August 25th, right? So after that's submitted, all your reviewers, your president, your treasurer, and your advisor all have to approve that by August 27th. Then the schedule is going to be posted, and then your special allocation review date is going to be September 5th, okay? So by September 8th, you're going to know whether or not you got funding. So you can see it's kind of like a week, 2 weeks you're going to be submitting your application, getting that all in. So plenty of time for your president, your treasurer, and your advisor to approve it. And then you're going to see it on September 8th. Now, your event's not for September 19th. But the reason that's going to be, you have to submit it so early, it's because there's so many requests coming in. You can't wait to the last minute to try to put your special allocation form in to expect it back that fast. The turnover is not going to be that fast. It's a process. So make sure that you are paying attention to those deadlines. Awesome. Okay. So you're clicking on the link, and you can see they're going to tell you to go look at the philosophy, and they're going to give you a little more information about the request. So the most important thing about this is that SOAB can only fund up to 75% of the organization's total annual budget. So if you're looking for SOAB to fund everything, they're not really going to do that. They're going to require you to supplement the rest of that fund through fundraisers, through crowdsourcing with the Falcon Funded Program, and other things like that. And just some additional information about that under requesting funding. Which will be put up very, very soon. Okay. So as you can see, this document's already filled, but we're going to go through line by line still to give you guys an in-depth look on what's actually you're going to be filling out. So you can type in your organization name. You're going to go to yes. What kind of funding you're going to receive. And then briefly describe how your funds your organization has received in the past have been used. So as just general good practice, we really want to know like what you're using your funds for, and then making sure that you're using your funds in the appropriate way. Type the funding requested with this application. Which is programming. You're going to type in your program event name. Then you're going to do a brief description about what that event is, and then the scheduled programming date. And then we're going to go through and then click yes for have you requested space for this program and event. You're going to click yes again for have you submitted an event approval form. Anticipated location, you're going to type that in. Anticipated attendance, and will it include any BGSU students, staff, or faculty? The total budget proposed for this event. Total amount budget be contributed by the organization, which is, of course, 25%. Amount of total budget being contributed by co-sponsoring organizations or departments. So if you're collaborating with an organization and they're contributing something, we want to have that information too for our financial records. The total budget being contributed by the other entity. So if you are having a co-sponsor, write how much they're contributing to your event. Um, Outline any co-sponsorship contribution your organization will receive for the proposed activity, including co-sponsoring parties and amount. So that's kind of just like what it's going to be. So not the amount of money, but what actually a description of what they're contributing. And then you're going to include a sample budget. I'm sorry, you're not going to include a sample budget, but we can go ahead and view that real quick. You're going to include a total budget. So let's go ahead and look what they wrote. Cool. So this is a sample budget template for you. So it has a line item, the total cost, the amount requested from SOAB, and the amount covered from other funding sources. So you're going to want to put that in here. So let's say you're getting a speaker. The total cost is going to be $2,000. The amount requested from SOAB is going to be $1,500, and then the amount covered from other funding sources is $100. All right. And so all your totals are going to be there. You can go ahead and save that and then upload that on the worksync. As you can see, you put something already here. And then it's going to give you options to click. We click the event will be held on or very near campus, and the event is open to the general student population. Is there a fee for students to enter or participate in any part of this program and event? No. Direct or suggested student fees for interest or participation will be used for the following purposes. That did not apply to us. Please provide a detailed explanation of any student fee for interest or participation in this program and event, i.e. cost per person, name of nonprofit receiving proceeds, percentage of proceeds being directed to each purpose. If not, indicate not available. So if you had to include something on there, this would be the line you would do it on. Usually, student organizations are free for the most part. However, there are some benefit dinners that happen throughout the year that they charge for a ticket, and they want to have that information. So they're technically SOAB university funding isn't allowed to be used to make a profit. It should be free and open to student organizations. However, we know that there are some nonprofits that organizations are raising money for. There are certain different cases in which a ticket may be purchased by a student, and then include some documentation. It's going to ask you some different questions. So if this is for travel, if based on the link that you clicked up here, they're going to ask you different things. They're going to ask you about your funding, your travel funding, which is, are you going to be taking a rental car or a bus on your trip? Competitive travel, are you going to be going away out of state, in state for a competition? Operation expenses is something that your organization needs to operate every year. And then funding impact. So I just wrote a bunch of stuff, but basically I have to write 200 words or less about how your student organization's membership in BGSU campus community will benefit from the request if approved. Policy acknowledgement, of course, this is on most SOAB funding requests. understand that my organization is expected to adhere to all of SOAB policies, and that the failure to do so may impact your eligibility in the future for future support. So basically, just be very honest and very transparent about what your funds will be using for. Um, I understand that if allocating funding for a purpose, is my responsibility as an organization to submit all payment requests and supplemental information required. Click yes. Reviewers for this, type in your organization president, your organization president's email, your organization treasurer's name, their email, your advisor's name, and then their email. And that is it. So I hope you got everything that you needed out of this video. Next, we'll be going over, I believe, we're going to be going over a co-product. So stay tuned for that. Until next time.